Well, good morning, folks. Let's just have a quick look around the charts. I'm doing a very quick impromptu video for you. Just because you need to be updated and you like to be updated, I've got the currency charts here. We're short on the pound. I don't like the look of this at all, but what I do like is this daily chart on the pound. We've had 3 reversal attempts at this high, and the pound could go higher. There's a reason I think that the pound will go lower, because I think the dollar is going higher. We'll have a look at the dollar index shortly. Do we have a one up, one down potential here? Well, we've had 3 spike highs, so maybe that was the third and the last one. If today finishes like this, will be a sort of a one up, one down reversal pattern, and I'll be looking for a move back down to this longer term moving average on the pound, and maybe a bit lower. I think we could get a 3 to 5% correction on the dollar upwards, and then therefore the other currencies downwards. Let's have a quick look. Same goes for the euro, by the way. The euro's moved down a bit more because of the economic news. Let's have a look at the dollar index. This is the weekly chart. Interesting chart because we are at the 200-week moving average. And I've had these lines drawn on here from about a month and a half ago. Looks like we're trying to follow the green path, and that would make more sense because we want to get back up to that breakout point for a breakout pullback trade for an entry to go short. But before that, we want to go long, I think. So we're long at the moment. Let's have a look on the daily chart. That looks a little bit more encouraging. Remember, this is the dollar index. One up, one down reversals, false breakdown, spike lows, all sorts of jiggery pokery. But particularly those last 2 candles, Wednesday and Thursday last week, one down, one up, and we're still trading within that range. There's the 20-period moving average above us on the dollar index, but on the weekly chart, as you saw, we're at the 200. The 200 weekly moving average is super powerful, super strong, really important. If we break down below there, the dollar's got some problems. If we hold there today, we should get back up to the underside of that trend line. So that's currencies. Stocks, I don't want to talk too much about. We're just waiting to see what happens. We're short on NASDAQ, short on S&P, looking for a reversal. Particularly the S&P looks encouraging to me. I drew this in a few days ago. We might have to retest the upside into that blob, the underside of this trend line, where the red arrow is. We haven't done that yet. And actually, if we did that today, we'd have to go a little higher, up to about 5,800. I'll be looking to add another short tranche to NASDAQ at that, S&P at that point. We've also got a few other trades. We're long on Apple and Microsoft, although we got out of our Microsoft trade after this reversal conglomeration island reversal pattern. I don't know if that's going to go up or down. I don't know. But anyway, we got out of that for a really good profit, about $20. Apple, we're still long. And we're short on NVIDIA and a couple of the others. I don't want to go into detail right now. We're long on Bitcoin, still holding up great. And actually quite a strong weekend, a new high, recent high, local high over the weekend. That's where we are on Bitcoin. Danger! We've got the 200-period day moving average, 200-day moving average, simple, above us. And this order block here, you can barely see it. We're touching up against that now. We do have an order block below us, or a structural break. And we want to see this moving up towards the upside and test this down, very shallow, downward sloping trend line. Notice that we've been in the range since the beginning of the year. Quite a parallel sort of channel. If anything, perhaps a bullish flag. Let's have a look at that. So we'll see how that goes. We're still long, got a decent position on Bitcoin. We're hedged on gold, just watching this potential reversal of this very steep trend line. Gold could go a lot higher, of course, interest rates coming down by 0.5%, 50 basis points, despite all the outrage and furore and uproar a few days before a big election. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. We have nothing on copper. We are long on silver from about $29.80 or 70, somewhere around there. We're currently trading at $30.70. Interesting about silver, about 12%, maybe 15% of all silver production goes into solar panels. I didn't know that. I knew it was quite a lot. I didn't know it was that much. So solar energy making a big comeback, as we all know, with a new clean green deal. And I think that's going to carry on growing as battery capacity and technology improves. Storage ability is directly linked to solar production. The more energy we're able to steal from the sun, store efficiently, without all the environmental problems. Silver is a good part of that program, of that sort of process. And batteries are becoming less damaging, I think, over time, and will continue to do so. Silver is a very important part of solar energy. I'm very pleased about the interest rate cuts, but the prospects of gold, Bitcoin, and silver all being bullish generally into the future, looking for areas to buy all of these on dips. Gold maybe a little bit overextended. Silver still languishing down here, so there's still opportunity for this to go up. So we're holding our long on silver, we're hedged on gold, we're long on Bitcoin, going across to natural gas, we're just faffing around up here. The rollover comes up in a couple of days' time on Thursday. Here it is, down here at the bottom. We roll over on Thursday the 28th from October into November. But before that rollover on Thursday, it's now Monday, we might have to pull back into these areas here. This is the futures 4-hour chart on the NYMEX. If we look at this on the day chart, you can see we're trading in that channel. It's a much shallower channel now. Remember, we had a steeper channel. Now that we formed this little spike low down here at the 2.25 level at the 200 period moving average, held there beautifully, bounced off it, moving up. The top of this channel it's now because we were forced to re-angle the channel because of that spike low a couple of days ago. We've got a much nicer channel. It's no longer threatening. It's not too steep. It's nice and shallow, and it's gently sloping upwards. We're testing the top right now, and we have to look at the spot price over at Pepperstone to see how that relates to what's currently going on. You'll notice Pepperstone's still trading in the current contract. We haven't rolled over on Pepperstone, although this is a continuous price. So the rollover sort of happens gradually in little spurts. So I expect this has gapped up as we thought it would, and I expect the next move might be a spurt up through the top of the channel. We've got to get up to 2.75 as it currently stands. Unless the next contract comes down from 275 on Thursday, after Thursday, this should move up. Spot price of Pepperstone, once again, it's the rollover coming up, and some of you have rolled over already. It's really, really tricky unless you're trading a continuous price or you understand intimately the futures. And this is one of the things we cover in the Swing Trading Blueprint course, is how to trade natural gas. There's a whole section dedicated to natural gas spot and futures rollovers, how to contend with contango, backwardation, the news, and all that sort of thing. So if you're interested, that course is opening up again later on in this week. Let's go across, let's go back. WTI, as you know, we're short on WTI. And that is not really doing very much. 3 days in a row just languishing up there. A lot of people are long on WTI because of all the problems going on in Ukraine and also in the Middle East. I continue to think this is going down. We also talk about the news and how to trade the news when the news is bullish, often the market's bearish, and vice versa. I'm looking to sell some more up there if we get there. I'm not sure if we will, but we've got some position on this already. And then the ZAR, we're still short. Flat bottom breakdown, we're short, beautiful. Holding on to that trade, and also that's against the dollar and also against the pound. We're also long on VIX at more or less the current price, looking for a rebound back into some of these higher levels if the market comes off. Whether it will or won't, I don't know, but we got in at a pretty low price. Don't worry about the moving averages on there, they're nonsensical. So perhaps I think sort of an echo or a reverberation of this big spike up during the yen carry trade unwind. This doesn't often happen. In fact, I don't think it's ever happened that we get one singular spike up. I expect some echoes to occur. So we'll watch that closely. And then TLT, we're long. You can see our position here. This has been going pretty much, wrong chart. This is going pretty much sideways for quite a long time. But there's our position basically drawn in for you. And our target is a long way above us. So we'll be holding on to this trade for some time. Moving up quite nicely now, just gradually and beautifully, not too fast. We don't want to rush. We don't want a parabolic sort of blow off top. We want a nice gradual move up, following the pattern that you see on these curves that TLT often makes. So I'm happy with that trade too. And then going across to some of these, we're long on sugar. We've now set a trailing stop loss in mind. Here's the 20 period moving average on the day chart on sugar. And beautiful, we're in some good profit on this now. And we're now going to exit this trade on any daily close underneath the 20-day simple moving average. It's really as simple as that. You can see in the past, when we get a good trend on, like we have at the moment, and luckily we got right in at the bottom, but when we get a nice trend on, we tend to hold above the 20. I could put the 50 period moving average in here too. That might form a safer basis to trail a stop if you want to make sure you don't get sort of taken out before the rest of the move occurs, even though you might get a bigger profit. We're also long on soya. That's going incredibly well. We're in an excellent position on here, and that's moving up. Even though it doesn't look much, we've moved up from 950 up to 1,030 already. Big move up, but much bigger to come, hopefully. Nothing on cocoa. You know my idea on cocoa. We just want to get into this trade at some point along this squiggly path. If we do break down, we'll wait for a breakout, pullback, and a rejection from underside of this very large, dramatic triangle. Dominates this entire chart. You've never seen anything like this. You know, for years and months and forever. We just traded dribbling along here, and then suddenly the market was cornered. Look at that. Unbelievable. So that's where we are in cocoa, looking to sell up at the top or on a break and a pullback and a continuation. So pretty simple trade, actually, it turns out in the end, after all of that drama going on during that last season with not only disease, but also nefarious activity going on in that market. Orange juice and coffee, corn and cotton. We're hedged across all of those, neither long nor short, and those are being going sideways. I will exit the cotton and perhaps the corn trades later on and lean it towards alongside, but I'm not convinced about those just yet. Hope you have a fantastic trading day. It's great to talk to you. Hope you, of those of you who were in the session yesterday, the first live training webinar for the Swing Trading Blueprint, it was a pretty long session, but it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Take care. Have a great trading day. I'll speak to you in the next video.